up here, but doing no magic. Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Boston Celtics have drawn first blood in the NBA Finals after beating hosts Golden State Warriors 120-108 in Game 1 at Chase Center on Thursday evening. The Warriors entered the fourth quarter leading by 15 points, but capitulated. We have highlights.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals, the young and talented Boston Celtics, led by Jason Tatum, going against the veterans. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and the Golden State Warriors. Your boy Steph Curry came out playing like only Steph Curry can, just drilling every shot he took. There's 1-3, here's another one. You see the range is well behind the three-point line. This one over Grant Williams. Once he gets cooking, forget about it. But the key thing here, look at the score. Curry nails this one, sure, but Boston's right there. Curry, 21 points in NBA Finals record, 6 3-pointers in the quarter. In the second, Klay Thompson for the three. Now Golden State's up by 10. Shot clock winding down. Jason Tatum to Marcus Smart with a tough step back two. And again, Boston's right there despite Steph going completely off. Jaylen Brown, pull-up jumper, money. Then it's Smart to Horford for the three. And at the half, Boston led this thing 56-54. At the half, Gary Payton II wins the Bob Lanier Community Assist Award, presented at the award there. Congratulations to him. In the third quarter, we're giving an assist to his team with his shooting. There's Steph again, drilling another three. You know about the Warriors in the third. Curry, 34 points on the game. Steph misses the three. Kevon Looney rebounds, finds Andrew Wiggins, who's just wonderful now. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. Golden State by 7. Jordan Poole makes a pull-up three-pointer. All of a sudden, it's 80-66. Golden State up by 14. But in the fourth, Jaylen Brown makes the step-back jumper over Draymond Green. He had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Then Jaylen Brown, alley-oop to Robert Williams for the jam. You got to see this one again. This cuts the lead all the way down to 5. So Boston, again, right back in this thing despite Golden State going off. How are they holding and taking all these punches? Well, Jaylen Brown to Derek White now for the top three over Steph Curry, and the game is tied at 103. White 5 of 8 from distance in the game. Peyton Pritchard to Al Horford for the three, and now Boston has the lead. Just lighten it up in the fourth. Later, Jaylen Brown taking a shot, missing a shot, but Al Horford rebounds, and Marcus Smart's just standing there begging for the ball in the corner, drills the three there. He had 18 points, 4 of 7 on threes, part of a 17-0 Celtics run. They're up 114-103. The Warriors trap Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown dishes to Al Horford for the layup plus the foul. Horford just tremendous in this game as Boston takes down Golden State. Final score in this one, 120-108. Boston up 1-0 in the series.
So the Warriors scored just 16 points in that fourth quarter, while the Celtics scored 40. The 24-point differential is the largest in the fourth quarter in NBA Finals history. The quarter-by-quarter breakdown, the Celtics supercharged in that fourth quarter. The Warriors were inhibited, and that was really basically where the game was won from a Celtics perspective, where it was lost if you were a Warriors fan. Joining us now to recap the game is our NBA expert, Alistair Albert. Alistair, highly unusual for Curry to go for 24 points and for the Warriors to lose.
Yeah, it's something else. He started off hot, very hot. He was like just scorching hot at started the game. First quarter, 21 points, 6 3-pointers, and we kind of thought that would set the tone for the rest of the game. One thing I was kind of worried about, and I kind of speaking to friends of mine on social media throughout the night, I was like, I hope this is not a smoke screen or a cover for bad play in the fourth quarter, and that's exactly what happened. He scored 34 points. He came out really, really hot. And the thing is, even in that first half, he scored all those points in the first quarter. Scored only 2 points in the second quarter. The Celtics were still really close. They were actually up at halftime, 56-54. So they were just able to stay in the game and kind of keep themselves just there, ready to strike when it was necessary. And it's just really a bad showing for the Golden State Warriors in this first game. And there's a lot of things to look at the tape and try to rectify for game two.
For those who didn't see the game, and even for those who didn't see the fourth quarter of the game, what went wrong and right? Wrong from a Warriors perspective. What did the Celtics do so right that caused them to find 40 points? Unbelievable in the fourth quarter of an NBA Finals.
What went wrong for the Celtics was it kind of felt
for the
like
Warriors.
For the Warriors, sorry, was that it didn't feel like they feared the Celtics 3-point shooting as much as the Celtics feared them. So the Celtics were able to really capitalize on their defense. Get out there, try to run them off the line, try to force them into really rush shots and everything. Whilst the Celtics had quite a lot of open shots, so what went right for the Celtics was a lot of open shots, a lot of ball movement, and a lot of assists. The Celtics actually won the assist battle in this game. 33 to 24 in this whole game. 12 assists in the fourth quarter to 5 only for the Golden State Warriors in the fourth quarter. So there was just a lot of ball movements and everything. And to the Celtics' credit, they shot really well. They shot really effectively. Contested shots, open shots. They were just able to just keep it going. And it's one of these things where you just look at it and you just see that the evolution of the game, as we said. There was just a lot of 3-point shooting going on both sides. 40 combined 3-point shots in this finals game, which is a finals record as well. No inside post-ups or anything. Of course, we moved away from this sort of game. But yeah, it's just really bad for the Warriors. But they have hope because they don't play that way all the time and don't hit their shots or not able to hit their shots as often. So they're hoping for a better showing in the next game, and that's the only thing that will probably save them as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, most times when we talk about a Celtics win, it's because Jason Tatum had one of the best nights. I think, though, it's worth mentioning, and we do need to discuss the fact that Jaylen Brown stepped up for his team and, of course, ensured that he got them to the finish line. What did you make of his performance?
Yeah, Jason Tatum was really surprising. He got quite open shots. He missed quite a few open layups as well, getting to the baskets and everything. He just had a really off night. I think that's all it comes down to. I don't think the Warriors' defense really troubled him very much. There wasn't very much physicality there as far as I'm concerned. There was a lot of active hands from the Golden State Warriors, especially in the third quarter. They were just really just swiping down at the ball, and he wasn't able to get shots up in the zone. Open 3-pointers, he was just missing layups, like I said, and everything. I think it was just really an off night for him. But what I loved about what Ime Udoka did, he didn't take him out of the game. He didn't, try to change his game in any sort of way. He left him out there, especially for the size factor and for defensive purposes. And, he contributed in another way, giving 13 assists to his team, being able to move the ball around and kind of get open looks for his guys. Jaylen Brown, like you mentioned, he stepped up. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Al Horford stepped up. It's all three of them by committee, and Marcus Smart as well, hitting, such timely baskets, going on a 20-5 run to end the fourth quarter and everything. The Warriors did score for like 4+ minutes at one point in this fourth quarter. So, credit to the Celtics. They just played outstanding. And one thing I want to note before we just move on to the next question as well, the Celtics throughout this whole playoff run have kind of relied on historic performances for them to win such games. So we have an outstanding shooting performance. Al Horford having a career high in 3-point shooting, 6 of 8 and everything. So they've kind of relied on these career performances to get past teams who are supposedly better than them. And let's see how long I don't know how long they can sustain that, but if they're going to continue to play like this, good on them.
Yeah, and of course, that was supposed to be my question. I wanted to know if you felt like this Celtics unit had the capacity to sustain that. And I get the sense that you're unsure that they can keep it up because the Golden State Warriors are going to come back for them.
I am uncertain about that. I think, Al Horford's career high in playoffs games is 30 points. He scored that against Milwaukee a couple of rounds ago. He doesn't score that much. He's usually around the 15 to maybe 20 point range sort of thing. Solid rebounder and everything. Derek White came up, shot 21 points as well. Had quite a few free pointers, I think about 4 free pointers himself and everything. So can they do that again? It's possible because I think like in the last time we spoke, Mariah, you said, the Celtics just have this resiliency to keep on coming back and everything. So it's possible that they could do it again. But I just don't think this is their makeup. Although they've done this throughout this whole playoffs, I'm still uncertain that they could kind of actually sustain that. And against a Warriors team who is very strong defensively. We didn't do it last night. But, these are guys who will recover and make adjustments and try to stop what they did. But look out for Jason Tatum next game. He's gonna ball out, I think.
Yeah, Kendrick Perkins, a former Celtics man, he said after the game last night, he completely dismissed Draymond Green's post-game narrative that was just a night for them, everything will be all right in the coming games. And Kendrick took him to task and suggested that based on what he saw, especially in the fourth quarter, the Celtics were all over the Warriors. And he was disagreeing that Draymond Green should be positing this calm, relaxed, and still confident attitude.
The thing about it is, of course, Kendrick Perkins, he played for the Celtics. He's had his I suppose, his slight biases. He's kind of said, he kind of flip-flopped a bit with his predictions in this postseason, until the point where he thought that, of course, the Celtics could win it all. Draymond Green, of course, he's playing for the other team, and they have to kind of exhibit some level of calm. They have to be able to show that they can, decompress and de-stress from everything that happened in that last game and get ready and flip the script to the next game. So Draymond Green, I think he's right. He has to be a player who just lost the game and kind of have that short memory and get ready for the next game and be positive. So I think Kendrick Perkins is a little bit out of line there for thinking that, Draymond Green would have said anything different in that regard. So let's see how they execute in the next game. But Kendrick, of course, has his biases, and that's probably what just come out there in that comment.
Alistair, we know basketball very well. We know that a team gets blown out tonight, comes back the next night, looks a different team. The winning team suddenly seems neutered. We know that's how the script works. The troubling thing for me, I guess, though, and I say it's troubling because the implications of what I saw last night are real, in that it could prove to be the difference between the teams. Remember yesterday we were talking about how evenly matched the teams were and their respective strengths, and where was the extra to come from for the winner to emerge based on that extra or those extras. I was perturbed at how Steve Kerr and company on the bench, even the players as well, seemed powerless to stop the Celtics from putting up 40 points in one quarter of basketball. And there's a reason that was an NBA record. It has never happened before. I find that troubling, that the game can be going in a certain way. We're used to seeing Pat Riley call his boys to the bench, draw something on the board, and you go out and you stem the tide. We're used to seeing Phil Jackson do it. He did it with the Lakers, he did it with the Bulls. You can pick any of the outstanding coaches we've seen in the past with outstanding teams that have done that when their rivals are on a run. I didn't see that last night. And it's not as if I saw them try something that didn't work. I didn't see them try anything. That's the problematic, the troublesome part for me.
Yeah, one thing I kind of noted from this whole thing, there were a few adjustments where they tried to go into zone a couple of times, and of course they tried to do the whole switching defense and everything. One thing I noted and I thought Steve Kerr did wrong, he didn't insert Jonathan Kuminga into the game at all. And of course, you're not really looking for him to be a scorer or anything. And I know he's a rookie, and you kind of want to be very careful with the spots that you put them in those sort of moments. But Jonathan Kuminga has size. He could guard the perimeter. He's more than capable of staying with Jaylen Brown, troubling Derek White and Marcus Smart and everything. And he could have inserted him for at least some energy to just try to give a bit of a different look. He stayed with his guys. Andre Iguodala even came into the game and tried to defend a few times, hit a couple of shots, which was really good, had a couple of assists and everything. But I thought from a defensive standpoint, he didn't use any of the defensive guns that probably would have deterred the Celtics a little bit. Gary Payton Jr. was available to play. This is a guy who has a defensive mindset as well. So, hopefully, like I said in the last time we appeared yesterday, use the depth that you have. Of course, this is a scoring team, a three-point shooting team, but you have a lot of defensive depth. Use it. And hopefully, Steve Kerr kind of looks at the tapes, kind of sees what happens there, and kind of just try something different next time.
Yeah, Alistair, thank you very much. One thing is for sure as we break is that the Warriors will not win this championship if Klay Thompson is going to have 15-point nights. It's not going to happen with that. That's not going to be enough.
And that's a three-point shooting from the whole team.
Yeah. Hear you on that. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk next week. All the best.
You guys later. Bye-bye.
Alistair Albert there, our NBA expert. We are back with more after these.
Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.